We are with Trevor Johnson, the third-year head coach for Liberty University. Now, Trevor, you just found out mid-August that your season was canceled due to COVID. So what have you done with your team since then?
Yeah, I think just the initial, when it came down, definitely it was devastating. I think our girls, especially our seniors, were, really looking forward to this season. And we've kind of showed some progress the last couple of years. And, we thought that this was our year to, make a run, not only the ASUN tournament, but Lord willing, the NCAA tournament. And ultimately God, had a different plan. So we're just taking it one day, at a time. And we know that tomorrow is not promised, by any means. And so we're just trying to, be the best versions of ourselves, each and every day. And so we practice, 5 days a week, and we lift 4 days a week, and, just waiting to hear back, what does our spring actually look like. So we're just trying to take it one day at a time.
The Bible verse just hits me. Is like, my plans are not your plans. My ways are not your ways. That right now is like the season of life where that hits me left and right. So let's talk about last season. You guys went to postseason to the NIVC tournament. You played a hard-fought match. How did you lead your team to get to that point?
Yeah, and a lot of that credit goes to our seniors that just graduated. They had a previous head coach their first couple of years, and so it took a lot of trust on their part to trust me. And so I think it started at the top with them, and so once they kind of bought in, I think everyone else just kind of followed suit. My first year we started off, I think we were like 1-9, 1-10, and it wasn't very pretty, but eventually our culture and the way that we trained and the way that we wanted to play volleyball, our certain style, I think they finally bought in. And we got into ASUN play and turned it around a little bit. And I think year two was just hey, like a comfort level, with how we train and how we're going to do things. And obviously it showed with our record, and making the NIVC was huge for us. That was our goal going into the season, was, hey, let's finish, top 4 in conference. We finished third, and we made a run in the NIVC and lost to the eventual champion, and they were a really good Georgia Tech team, and they should have been the NCAA tournament, but I can't make that decision. So, yeah. Yeah,
that sort of got in your way a little bit, because you guys are definitely a good team.
Yeah.
So if I'm a recruit, so I'm a young recruit looking to play and, happen to be a Christian as well, and I want to play at a solid university in a good culture. You mentioned culture. What is it about Liberty University that would draw me to you?
Yeah, honestly, what makes Liberty unique is just the people. And that's what attracted me the most, on my interview, coming from Texas A&M, was just the people and how they care for you. And sure, like other schools tell you, we're like a family. And, I can honestly tell you Liberty is a huge family. And, to have an AD at all the games, to have my SWA at all the games, and, he's going to tell you how you did in your last match, like, hey, congrats, so-and-so. And, people actually care about, you more so as a person than as a player. And that to me is what stood out the most, on my interview process. But, it's nice when you have like-minded people that are going to encourage you to make wise decisions, not only on the court, but off the court as well. And the relationship side, for me is very important. And, so part of our culture and our DNA is we care and we value people. And I do that personally I meet with all the girls individually once every 2 weeks, and, we'll go to a coffee shop, we'll go to Starbucks, and hey, how are you? How are things back home? How's mom and dad? How's school doing? How are you and I doing? What can I do better as a coach? What do you need more from me? If they have a boyfriend, hey, how's the boyfriend doing? I think athletes don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that to me has been my coaching philosophy since day one. And not that I'm going to be a pushover, by any means. Like, if there's an issue with attitude or effort, then hey, like, we'll address it. But, I'm not going to make a kid run because they missed a serve, or, they got aced. Mistakes are welcome in our gym. So that's just, part of our culture. And I think that's been our success the past couple of years.
That's great. And people really make the environment, and you're setting that up really well. So talk to me about your facilities. A lot of people don't know how great your facilities are. So what is it about Liberty? If you had to name a couple places that you're like, guys, this is top of the line? What do you got there?
Yeah, well, we have one that we actually haven't even moved in yet. That's our new arena. We're going from a 12,000 seat arena to a 4,000 seat arena. So it's definitely going to make it more of a home court, atmosphere, and it's going to help us for sure. And new locker room, new team room, new film room. We're getting a Terraflex floor, so we're very blessed to have that. We're getting new offices for us, and it's just going to be top notch. And whatever Liberty does, they do it to the best, of their ability. And, obviously our campus is amazing. It sits up on a hill and overlooks the Blue Ridge Mountains. And it's just a real pretty part, of the country. And you get the four seasons for sure. And it's a very special place.
Now, you're known as one of the top recruiters in the nation. What is it that you look for in recruits?
Yeah, well, thank you for that compliment. I think there has to be some level of talent. But for me, the character is most important. And, how they treat their teammates. I watch all the time when they're making good plays and they're making bad plays. Are they making eye contact with their coaches? Are they making eye contact with their teammates? They can be the best player, but, if I notice those things, I just scratch them off. And, I don't want to deal with that, every day. And if they commit somewhere else, in our conference or, locally here, maybe I play them twice a year, but, if I take a bad kid, they're going to beat me, every day, out of the year. So I just want to make sure that we're recruiting, the right kids. And to do that, honestly, it's a lot of prayer. And God is the head recruiter and the head coach of this program. So I continue to trust him. And the kids that we've missed out on, I've been really bummed about. But the kids that he has sent me and us have been actually way better. So it's crazy how, his plans are always better than mine, when we put him first. So that's what we've really been trying to do here, is continue to put him first. And especially with this pandemic time and, dealing with adversity, these are life lessons that we have to teach young people, and you can try and control things, but you just can't. His plan is always better. And when I look back on my life and where he's taken me, it's his way has always been way, way better than what I thought should have happened. So it sucks right now to go through this, but it's also, some perseverance that God's got to teach us. And we know that something great is going to come from it.
That's so true. And how nice is it? I'm just listening to you. You're a Christian. You're at a Christian university. You get the green light to talk about Jesus, to talk about Bible, and then use these worldly lessons and then apply them to your Christian walk. So how is that to get the green light to do such a thing?
Yeah, it's been a blessing. Being at Texas A&M, I loved it, but you got to be a little bit more selective with how you share your faith. And I'd have these one-on-one meetings with the girls, and at the end I would, hey, can I pray for you? And some of the girls would just break down crying, I've never had anyone pray for me before. And so that those moments, I love. But just having worked at California Baptist University in Concordia, and so I've always been around faith-based institutions. I wanted to get back to that, and just a place that I can be myself. And we pray before practice, we pray after practice. Our strength coach, awesome dude. He'll pray before practice, we'll pray after practice. Weights with him, and it's a cool place. And we'll have the girls write the quote of the day, and oftentimes it's a Bible verse. And so each girl we'll do pick turns, and someone will do that, and they'll explain what that meant to them that day. And it's awesome. We can tell our life stories and hear how God has used them in mighty ways, and how God brought them to Liberty. It's amazing. And just to be able to impact young people, especially in these crucial years, of college. And this is the 4 years where they're forming their identity, and, who are they? And they're picking a major that's going to affect the rest of their life, and maybe a future spouse, and so just to be able to be a part of that. And if I'm just worried about the wins and losses, I'm missing the big picture. And there's a lot more life lessons to be learned than just the wins and losses.
Yeah, you're already teaching me some life lessons, and I'm just talking to you. So this is this is great.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, where do you see Liberty Volleyball in the future?
Man, I can honestly see us in the top 25, and that might seem like a stretch, but if you understand, how serious Liberty is about athletics and just how like well funded we are, but we're very blessed, by that, and that they want us to win a lot, but then give God the glory. So that's Liberty, in a nutshell. So realistically, I thought that we'd probably be a little bit higher. We'd crack the top 75, maybe RPI this year. And when I first got here, we were 211. So we're trending in the right direction. And, all good things take time. So we're just trying to bite the bullet for right now and just do what we can do. And once they give us the green light to play, then, hey, let's get after it and let's compete for an audience of one. And I tell our girls all the time, like, you're not playing for me. You're not playing for Liberty University, but you're playing for Christ. And that's all we can do. Yeah.
Well, enjoy the journey, Coach Johnson. You're doing great things at Liberty, and I'm sure they're so glad that you're there.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.